Hi guys, welcome back to In the Know. I am so thrilled today to be joined by Rosie Huntington-Whiteley.
Hi.
So we're here with BareMinerals and I thought it's a perfect time to talk to you because you are a woman of so many talents. You're a businesswoman, you're an actress, a model, a designer. So there's just so much I want to ask you. So I thought, let's start off with, what would you say is the way that you have managed to balance and succeed in so many things? What do you think, how would you attribute that?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. That's a very nice compliment.
No problem.
I don't know if everything's always been a success. I think people often see, the other day I was reading something and success is like a kind of iceberg. You see the sort of successful parts of it and all the things that look great from the outside. And what people don't see is all the things kind of underneath, the hard work, the determination, the failures, the knockbacks. And that's really kind of been what it's all about for me. I've been lucky enough to be working now since I was 16 years old, and it's been many ups and downs, many learning curves throughout the years, and trial and error, and things that have been successful and things that have been also a failure as well. I think for me, I've always tried to remain really open to what life has to offer, and I've always kind of been very driven and open-minded and informed, I think, educated, and looking around at what else is going on, and staying true to myself, finding areas of my work where I really kind of felt were authentic to me, and kind of growing on those things. And so kind of going after projects or specific kind of businesses that I felt that I really could have an authority in, or could have success at. And also for me, a lot of it's been, I think so much of what I would say goes down to luck. And then I think you're sort of lucky enough in the career that I have to kind of have these moments of like luck that happen, and then you kind of have to grasp onto them and then make it work. Yeah. And so it's a lot of being in the right place at the right time. But I think in order to be in that right place at the right time, you have to be open-minded and you have to put yourself in there. And it's so much, I talk a lot with my partner about creative visualization. And so I've always kind of looked at my life and really kind of seen what I want from it. And sort of looked at it 5 years in the future, and how I want my personal life to look, how I want my business life to look, things that I want to do better at. And when you really start to like visualize that, perhaps it might even be about a mood board of kind of what you want from your life, whether that's like refurbing your house or whether that's like finding a partner, but really kind of seeing what you want out of your life and believing that you deserve it. And I think then when you kind of have that plan in your zeitgeist, you can kind of like work towards it. And curveballs come and things don't always happen the way you kind of dream them to happen. But I think just being focused and staying inspired by what's going on in the world. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gosh, what an amazing answer that was. Thanks. So good. So, what would you say is the biggest learning curve then that you've kind of come across in all these different businesses?
Yeah. The biggest learning curve, I think, for me has really been about what I was talking about, creative visualization, allowing yourself to dream and allowing yourself to believe that you have the right to be there. I see that as a real privilege. I'm lucky to be in that position where I've got to have a career, and the career that I've had. I know that's not the same for everybody, but as a young girl, I always dreamed. I still do today, and I try and stay inspired by what's going on around me. I always dreamt as a teenage girl of working in fashion and beauty, and when my mother asked me the other day, she kind of said, how's it all? She was really kind of interviewing me in a way, late night at her house. She said, how do you think it's all happened? And I said, I just really allow myself to dream, and it's that kind of, that's sort of what creative visualization comes down to. So that, and, a lot of it is, for me as well, has been about surrounding myself with the right people on my team, surrounding myself with people that share the same vision as me, people that, want to be in business and have the same outcome as I do. And so that's been trial and error over the years. There's been like people that have come and gone, and people that have evolved with me and haven't, and so that's ever changing. But at 32 now, I feel really lucky to have a great team around me and support system for the work that I do, and then also in my personal life as well.
Right, because I was going to ask you about this actually, because in what I do, I have, it's quite small, but I have an amazing team of people that really do help, like lift me up, give me ideas, make sure that I'm not kind of going too far out of my box. Like, because you have so many kind of career paths, how big is your team overall? Is it quite large?
It's been bigger than it is now at times, and I would say, because at different periods of my career, I've sort of been doing quite a few different things. At one moment, I was obviously modeling and acting, and so I needed representatives in certain areas. And now today at 32, I have an agent that I work with and have worked with for about 8 years now, who I consider really changed my life. Peter Hess, I love you. He knows that. And then I have wonderful PR teams both in London and in America, because I live between the two areas. And then I have my small but mighty team at Rose Inc. That I think sort of completes the team. It's definitely become more streamlined for me over the last few years, because and that's been a process as well, and sort of letting go of things that, realizing that I kind of had to trim away the fat, and that I really had to kind of be strategic with my time. And certainly becoming a mum, you kind of realize that you have to, you can't do everything. So figure out what it is that you really want to do and hone in on that, and kind of make your bed a little bit, and be more clear with your decisions.
Right. Yeah. Do you know, it's funny you say that. Would you, because I am a self-confessed micromanager.
Yeah.
I like the control.
Yeah.
Would you say you're similar?
Yeah, I definitely would. And it's funny because I've been asked this question before, and it was sort of put at me, would you consider yourself a control freak, as if it had like a negative connotation? And I really want to remove that stigma from somebody that's like in control of their life or a micromanager. I think, of course, it can go down a negative route, but at the same time, like, we absolutely as women should be in control of our lives, and we should be in control of our destiny and what we want out of our life. My mum always said to me, no one's going to hand you anything in life. You have to go out there and you have to get it. And if that means micromanaging things and staying over the top of all your business, if that means being a boss and making tough decisions and telling people what works and doesn't work for you in a direct, firm way, then that's what it's going to take. I really, truly, always urge women to take control of their lives, take control of the reins. You are riding your life. So, yeah,
absolutely. I think it's that learning how to delegate more is something I still need to practice a lot more. But I am trying. I'm getting there.
It's really good to be able to delegate, so you can, and allow people on your team as well I think it's about building people around you that have strengths in areas that you might not. So for me, it's like, I might not know numbers and figures as well as my accountant or my business manager, and so I'm going to allow them to do that. And then I might need somebody on my marketing team, and there's various different places. And whilst I want to stay over the top of all of it as the sort of CEO of my life, so to speak, it is really important to let people flourish in the areas and kind of let them kind of do their best work as well. So it's a delicate balance, but there's nothing wrong with being in control of your life. I
think so too. I'm so glad you said that, because I think it's a positive.
What's your star sign?
Cancer.
My son's a Cancer.
Really?
Yeah. I'm an Aries, so we like to be in control. Anyone who's an Aries will know.
Do you know what I was going to ask you actually? Because you are a mum and such a successful woman, what would you say, how have you managed to balance that, the work-life balance?
Well, that's something I talk a lot about at the moment. I'm a new mum, and I ask mums and women that are kind of seemingly to me managing it all. It's a conversation that I think before I was a mum, I kind of would read things about, working mums talking about the balance and juggling act of it all. And I sort of was like, well, we all work. We all wear many different hats as a woman. What are you talking about? And then becoming a mum and also having this career that's really important to me and needs feeding and, this needs stoking, and it needs a lot of time and dedication to it. I realized that you do feel spread thin sometimes, and you do feel like you're not in the right place. And so, you know, Jack just turned 2, and I would say what I'm trying to do now is really make sure wherever I am, I'm truly present in that moment. So if I'm with him, I'm really present. The phone goes away. I'm not allowing kind of phone calls or work to kind of interrupt that time with him. So I'm really, truly present as his mother. And then when I'm at work, I'm not worrying that I should be with him. I'm focused. I'm not punishing myself for that. It's really important for me and my life and my well-being to work. I love that. It makes me happy. And so it's a balancing act. It's a bit of a juggle, and sometimes you have days where you feel like Superwoman, and some days you have days where you just feel really flawed, and you know, 8 o'clock at night you're kind of calling your mum going, I can't do it all. And I guess that's normal, you know. It's all about having, you know, for me, really good people around me that can lift me up and encourage me and make me feel good. And so I think that is why it's really good for women to talk about this, because I think it's a topic of conversation that can really help people that are that have challenges. I mean, like I said, we all have challenges at some point. So yeah,
absolutely. And I think it would be great for a lot of people to sort of hear that everyone is in the same boat.
Yeah, it's refreshing for me to hear when I hear another woman saying the same thing. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one that's going through that. So
absolutely, you kind of need that solidarity almost, do you, with everyone coming together. So let's talk about BareMinerals, because that is another big passion. So when you joined BareMinerals, and obviously they're amazing clean products, and you're a Power of Good ambassador, what kind of drew you in? What was it about that ambassadorship that really made you excited?
A few things. First of all, BareMinerals is like what I like to refer to as the OG of clean beauty. They've been making clean beauty products now for 25 years. And so I've used several of their products for many, many years now. They've been in my makeup bag, and you know, sort of been in my makeup bag and not really thinking too much about the fact that they were clean. And then kind of now, as we're moving into this trend of clean beauty, I was really sort of drawn to Bare because, you know, they were the sort of founders of this clean beauty movement. And I thought, who better to kind of partner with to learn more about clean beauty and to, you know, really kind of talk about what clean beauty is. And then for me, you know, we talked a lot at the beginning about this campaign, the Power of Good, and what that is. And you know, everybody's got a different interpretation of it, but for me, it's really about, you know, making these small acts of good throughout the day and seeing, you know, the impact that they have, the greater impact. You know, it's the kind of the small acts of kindness that lead to a bigger change in the world. Whether that's simply, you know, helping somebody out in the day, or smiling at somebody, or, you know, going to work at a charity, or, you know, just giving back in some capacity. And so that's been, you know, it's really special to work with a brand, particularly a beauty brand that has a bigger message.
Absolutely.
And I feel fortunate that I get to sort of spread that in my own way. So
yeah, and I think it's really wonderful because I think a lot of people don't realise just how clean and for how long BareMinerals have really been spreading that message. And it's great to almost find such wonderful ambassadors to really spread that far and wide. And I think it's honestly the perfect choice for you as well.
Thanks.
It's just, it honestly, it's perfectly you and BareMinerals. It's a good partnership.
We like to talk about like the products, you know, having performance without compromise. And I think for a long time people have sort of looked at clean beauty as, well, you know, you're going to choose clean, but you're not going to, you know, you're going to compromise on the performance of the products. And, you know, really having got to divulge like deep into the brand over the last year or so and really get to try everything, get to try all the new products that are hitting the market for the first time, and really kind of, you know, seeing that I can use a clean product and it's not going to compromise on performance for me. And again, it's all balance. You know, not everything for me is clean in my life, but it's like if I can make a better choice, why not?
No, absolutely. And in fact, there's so many products around that I'm really, really excited to kind of play with. I'm excited about it.
We can talk about a few, can we?
I mean, I was going to ask you, what is your holy grail product?
Well, my holy grail is the BareMinerals Loose Powder Foundation. This is one of my absolute favourite hero products within the within the brand. When I first tried this, I was a little bit dubious because I thought, how is a powder going to give me coverage? And then if it does give me coverage, it's probably going to look cakey and make my skin look dry.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't have been more blown away by it. Not only is it a really great product to kind of use on the go throughout the day, but it leaves your skin looking so luminous and glowy. It also has great coverage, so any of those kind of imperfections that you want to give it a little bit more coverage to, it's really great. So this is with me always. It's a great one to use on the go and for traveling. Good one when you're getting off the flight.
Yeah.
And then another one of my favorites for sort of complexion is the Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream, and they recently launched it in this
it's
stick,
great, isn't it?
which is again really great for touching up throughout the day. And it has this really kind of, the first time I used the stick I was sort of surprised. It's got this almost like this cooling effect to it.
Yeah.
So it feels really, really lovely and creamy and soft on the skin. And then I'm a big fan of the long wear lipsticks, because
they are great.
Yeah, being a girl on the go and being busy like all of us, I don't want to be kind of in a mirror touching up my lip throughout the day a ton of times.
Yeah.
And so they really hold up throughout the day and throughout the evening. And my favourite one is this red and cherry.
Oh,
this
is
is
it?
what we I wore for the original campaign shoot. And the amount of questions when I shared on social media a selfie, the amount of questions I had about the lipstick was like, it blew me away. People we really love this colour. It's such a wonderful red, and it suits all skin tones. The texture of it just looks so vibrant and rich and velvety. So that's another one of my favourites. Yeah.
I must admit, I think the BareMinerals lipsticks are some of my absolute favourites. The Velvet Matte liquid lips are just one of my favourite formulas ever. I'm obsessed with them. And for that lipstick, I like Peony.
Yes,
that's my favourite.
Peony.
So
I've got Petal on today, but Peony is really nice as well. Yeah,
I often mix the two actually. I love both.
Yeah,
beautiful, aren't they? And in fact, I really also want to ask you, because you are just such a beauty girl as well, and you now have Rose Ink.
Yeah.
Like, where did the inspiration come from for Rose Ink? I think it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I think, well, for me, it sort of felt like my whole career kind of led me to this place of launching Rose Ink, which, for those of you who haven't already come across it, is an online content platform dedicated to beauty. I also launched a YouTube channel a little over a year ago that coincides with the site. And I think it felt like a really authentic next step. I'm a beauty girl. I've spent 16 years in the hair and makeup chair, getting to work with the best and some of the worst in the industry, and learning, I think, so much, getting to soak up this very unique point of view from the beauty industry and from the fashion industry that not everybody gets. I mean, it's a very, it's a very different, unique point of view as a model who, you're getting to work with all these people, pick up all the tips and the tricks throughout the industry, often getting to try products for the first time. And so, I was finding that I was getting a lot of questions from girlfriends, my followers on social media, from brands I was working with, journalists constantly asking me about beauty. And when I was sharing things across social media, I would see the engagement it was receiving, and that there was a real appetite for sort of more. And so I sort of wanted to take that. Being a creative person, I sort of wanted to make something that looked and felt like a magazine and felt like a kind of destination where people could come back. I wanted to build a community of fellow beauty junkies like myself and really just talk about it. I want to hear what people are using and loving, and I want to share what I'm using and loving, and sort of build this community of people. And we're doing that, and
it's worked so well.
Really,
honestly, when you came out with it, I remember seeing on your social media that you were kind of teasing it and hinting something was coming, and I followed it immediately, and I was like, I can't wait to see what this is going to be. And as soon as I saw it was this big beauty community, and the website and the channel, I was like, this is just such a great move, because I've always wanted to know what to use in your skin and what to use for your eyebrows, all of that kind of thing. People are fascinated by that. They want to know what people are using. Yeah. So I thought it was such a fantastic idea.
Oh, thank you.
So where do you see it going? Where do you see it kind of moving?
Well, I definitely have, I would say, my 5-year plan for it and what I hope to see. And then I think a lot of it is about being flexible. The world that we live in is so fascinating because everything's moving so fast and changing, and what was kind of working a year ago and what works now is like it's just constantly evolving. And a lot of it is, for me, about listening to my readers and my consumers and moving with them a little bit and letting them dictate to me, what they want to hear from me, what they want to see, perhaps what they'd like to purchase. And so it's a little bit of both my dreams coupled with, and I think that they align pretty well. And so, I wouldn't want to share too much right now, but I hope everybody stays tuned, and I'm excited. I think people can expect more experiential events. We did a masterclass last autumn in LA with BareMinerals, which was really fantastic, and it was really great to see my kind of audience turn up and enjoy that afternoon. In working with Nikki DeRose, who is another of the BareMinerals ambassadors. We did a tutorial on stage. So that I think you can expect more of that, more events, more partnerships, and more great content. I hope to interview and work alongside some of the best and, the most iconic people across the industry. And so I think more.
It sounds perfect. And in fact, I was going to wrap up this interview with what's next for you, but I kind of feel like you've answered it in there. So much is coming up and going on.
I think, what's next for me, I think it just will be a continuation of where I'm at today. It's always a tricky question to answer, because there's things in the pipeline I probably can't share yet, and that's really annoying. But I think it's more of, for me, I feel really lucky where I'm at today, and hopefully just continue on this road that I'm on. Continue with my family life is just really important to me, and my career, and just more of the same, hopefully.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, well, thank you so much, Rosie. This has been so insightful, and I know it's going to be so inspiring for everyone watching, so thank you for joining me. I will leave all of Rosie's favourite BareMinerals products down below, as well as a link to her YouTube channel, and also Rose Inc. if you guys want to check it out if you haven't already. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye. You're
great at that. You need a talk show.
You
she needs a talk show.
I don't. Honestly.
I'm good at answering questions about myself.